Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand. It looks ordinary, worn out, maybe even forgotten in a jar somewhere. Now, imagine that same penny is worth $764,000, yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, sold for over $750,000, let that sink in. This isn't some fairy tale or internet rumor. It's real that it happened, and here's the terrifying part. You might have one sitting in your house right now. Today, we're diving into one of the most shocking and inspiring stories in American coin collecting, the 2009 Professional Life Lincoln penny with no mint mark. A coin that's flipping lives upside down. A coin that could turn your coin jar into a retirement plan. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify a treasure, and whether you're holding the next 6 or 7-figure penny. And no, this isn't just about coins. This is about the life you could live if you know what you're holding. Let's go back to 2009. The United States Mint released a special series of Lincoln pennies to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday. 4 designs were minted that year, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. One of them stood out, the Professional Life design. It shows a young Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol, symbolizing his career as a lawyer and legislator. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Most of these coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. If you look closely below the year, you'll either see a small D for Denver or nothing at all, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia, because what seems like nothing could be everything. Some of these Philadelphia minted pennies were struck with such rare conditions, errors, and die varieties, that collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands, even up to $1 million, just to get their hands on them. And yes, one Professional Life penny with no mint mark has been confirmed sold for $764,000. Take a breath, let that number sit with you. Here's what made that penny so valuable. It had a rare die clash, meaning the coin dies struck each other without a blank planchet between them, leaving mysterious and unintended marks. These errors are highly collectible because they're incredibly rare, especially on modern coins. But wait, there's more. The coin also had exceptional luster, near perfect centering, and graded a mint state 67+ read by professional grading services. That kind of condition. It's the difference between a penny and a Porsche. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked through your pocket change? What if that jar in your garage has been holding a $764,000 coin all this time? What would you do if you found it? Take a second. Think about it, because stories like these are becoming more common than you think. At this point, you might be checking your couch cushions. Or wondering if Uncle Joe's old coin collection is about to buy you a beachfront home. And hey, maybe it will, but before you go tearing through every drawer in the house, let's talk about how to actually identify one of these high-value 2009 Lincoln pennies, because not every 2009 penny is worth a fortune. But the right one changes everything. First, check for the no mint mark. That tells you it's from the Philadelphia Mint. Next, look for coins that appear to be in uncirculated or near perfect condition. High grades matter a lot. Then, inspect the details. Use a magnifier to look for die clashes or strange ghost-like marks, double dies where letters or numbers appear to be stamped twice, off center strikes, where part of the image is shifted or missing, or anything that just doesn't look normal. Errors are your best friend here. Now, here's the most important part. That if you suspect you've got something valuable, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, take it to a professional coin grader or a certified dealer. Have it authenticated. Let the experts tell you if you're sitting on a goldmine, because here's the hard truth. People throw away small fortunes every year simply because they don't know what to look for. And here's what keeps me up at night. What if someone watching this video right now, has the exact same coin in their possession, right now, and never realizes it? What if your path to financial freedom is already in your hands, and you never take the time to look? What if this is the last video you ever scroll past that could have changed your life? Let that fear turn into urgency, because opportunity rarely knocks twice. So now you know. The 2009 Professional Life Lincoln penny with no mint mark isn't just a collector's item, it's a symbol of hidden wealth. Of untapped opportunity. Of stories waiting to be discovered, and maybe, just maybe, one of those stories belongs to you. Look through your collection. Check your change. Ask your parents, your grandparents. You never know what they've stashed away. The wealthiest people aren't always the loudest. Sometimes, they're just the ones who paid attention. That if you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe for more insights on rare coins that can make you rich. And share this with someone who might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. You're one coin away from a completely different life. Don't miss your moment. Yes, you heard that right. 0.1 cent. A single copper coin. No mint mark. From the year 2004. And it could change your life forever. Now, before you roll your eyes and toss another handful of coins into a dusty jar, stop. Because people just like you, everyday Americans, are discovering hidden fortunes in the most unexpected places. Today, we're uncovering the story of one of the most underrated modern coins in U.S. history. The 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny. So pour yourself a coffee. This isn't just a video. This is a wake-up call. Let's set the stage. It's 2004. Facebook is brand new. Gas is about $2 a gallon. Nobody's looking twice at pennies. Especially not modern ones, but buried in plain sight, a specific batch of 2004 Lincoln pennies without any mint mark hit circulation. At first glance, they look ordinary, same copper-plated zinc composition, same Lincoln portrait. Nothing unusual, except, some of them weren't ordinary at all. A small number were struck with errors so rare and dramatic, they instantly caught the attention of top numismatists. Double dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, and even die breaks. But here's the twist. The most valuable ones weren't flashy at all. They were simple, subtle, and deceptively common-looking, just like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Let me ask you something. Have you ever ignored a coin because it looked too normal? Because that's exactly what happened to most of these 2004 no mint mark Lincoln pennies. They flew under the radar. Collectors were chasing the 1992 close AM, the 1969 S double die, or the 1982 copper zinc transition. Meanwhile, a few sharp-eyed individuals started noticing strange details on these modern pennies. A barely visible double die on Lincoln's eye. An unusually bold strike on the reverse lettering. A lack of mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. And for some rare ones, a misalignment that wasn't supposed to happen. By 2024, coin grading experts had confirmed these oddities. And one coin, graded by a top-tier certification company, sold for a jaw-dropping $760,000 at auction. Let that sink in. A penny that cost the U.S. Mint less than a cent to produce, turned someone into a near-millionaire. And now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my penny is the one? Hold that thought. Because what I'm about to reveal next could be the difference between throwing away a fortune, or cashing in. By the way, if your heart's racing a little right now, you're not alone. Imagine explaining to your spouse that you accidentally spent a $700,000 penny on a pack of gum. Yeah, that's one family meeting I wouldn't want to be in. Let's stay focused. Start with the obverse, the front. Look closely at Lincoln's eye and bow tie. Use a magnifying glass or your phone camera. If you notice a subtle shadow, doubling, or blur, especially around his eye or jawline, you may have a double die. Next, check the reverse, the back. Pay close attention to the words 1 cent and United States of America. If the lettering seems unusually bold or uneven, that's a red flag. In the best possible way, then, check the edges. A slightly off-center strike or rim doubling might not seem like much, until a collector offers you 6 figures for it. And finally, make sure there's no mint mark below the date. If you see a D or an S, it's not the one. The valuable variety comes from Philadelphia and has no mint mark at all. If your penny checks any of these boxes, do not clean it. Do not touch it with bare hands. Place it in a coin flip or soft cloth and get it professionally appraised immediately, because here's the hard truth: every year, people unknowingly spend coins that could have paid off their mortgage. You don't want to be one of them. So the next time you're holding a 2004 Lincoln penny, don't see 1 cent, see possibility. See potential. See a doorway to a life of wealth, freedom, and legacy. The treasure might already be in your hands. All you have to do is look. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe. We reveal the truth about coins that could change your life, because in this world, knowledge isn't just power, its profit. Stay sharp. Stay curious. And remember, one penny can make you a millionaire. Yes, a coin you might have tossed in a jar, slipped under your car seat, or handed to a cashier without a second thought, could be worth more than most people's homes. This is not some urban legend. This is real. This is now. And if you own the 2006 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark, and the right features, you could be holding the key to a millionaire lifestyle. But here's the catch. Most people overlook it. They let it slip through their fingers every single day. Will you be one of them? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how one tiny detail could change your life forever. Let's rewind. The year is 2006. Abraham Lincoln's iconic image is still gracing the penny, as it has for over a century. Millions were minted. Business as usual, but somewhere in Denver, at the U.S. Mint, something unusual happened. A very limited number of Lincoln pennies were struck with an error. A flaw so rare that collectors today are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get their hands on it. That error. It has to do with how the coin was struck, a double die error, sometimes combined with an off-center strike, or unusual planchet flaws that weren't caught during production. These mistakes might sound small, even invisible to the average eye. But to a trained collector, they're like discovering gold dust on a dollar bill. You might be wondering, how does a coin that says 1 cent become worth $750,000? Simple. Rarity meets demand. And when deep-pocketed collectors want something, prices explode. Quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your change before dumping it into a jar? Exactly. Now imagine if your next trip to the gas station cost you $755,000, because you paid with the wrong penny. Let that sink in. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't know what to look for. They either throw away their chance at a fortune, or worse, sell their coin for pennies to someone who knows its true value, and then they watch, helpless, as someone else sells it for six figures. It happens every day, and the fear of missing out is real. So here's what separates winners from the rest. Winners educate themselves. They act. And they do it before someone else scoops up their treasure. So let's dig into what you need to check. First, turn your 2006 Lincoln penny over. Check for the D mint mark right beneath the year. That tells you it was struck in Denver. Second, examine Lincoln's profile and the lettering. Look closely. You may see doubling in the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." That's a double die error. And it's what collectors go wild for. Sometimes, the coin might also show signs of being off-center, where the stamping was misaligned. Or it could have a die crack or a missing element on the reverse side. These oddities add massive value. Sounds tedious? Maybe, but what if every coin you inspected had the potential to pay your mortgage, your medical bills, or your early retirement? Now, it doesn't sound so tedious, does it? In just a moment, I'll reveal the story of one man who sold his 2006 penny at auction, and walked away with more money than most people earn in a decade. But before we get to that, let's talk about, in recent months, the coin collecting world has seen a surge in value for modern-era coins. The 2006 Lincoln penny is no exception. Just recently, one of these era coins was auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $755,000. Why so high? Because it was nearly perfect. A dramatic double die, incredible condition, and one of the rarest known to exist. Collectors lined up, bidding furiously to add it to their collection. The result? A modern penny turned into a modern-day gold mine. And guess what? There are likely more out there. Sitting in drawers, coin jars, or forgotten boxes. Just waiting to be discovered. Now don't go flipping over grandma's coin jar just yet. Well, actually, do. Right after this video, because that loose change might be your legacy. So what should you do if you think you have one of these 2006 Lincoln pennies? Step 1, don't clean it. Never clean a coin. Collectors want originality, not shine. Step 2, get it appraised by a trusted numismatic expert. Use PCGS or NGC, the two leading grading services in the country. Step 3, list it carefully. Use heritage auctions, reputable dealers, or marketplaces that cater to serious coin investors. And remember this, the value of your coin isn't just in the metal, it's in the story, the rarity, and the condition. Every crease, mark, or flaw can either skyrocket its worth, or sink it. So handle with care. Literally, that you're not just holding a coin, you could be holding your freedom, the freedom to travel, to retire early, to give your kids a better future. The freedom to wake up without worrying about bills, debt, or financial stress, all from a penny. Don't ignore the small things. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest value. Not a gold coin, not a silver dollar, but a plain old 2008 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Just a small copper coin. Yet today, one of these sold for an unbelievable $749,000. Yes, $750,000, for a penny. Now ask yourself this. What if you've been spending rare money your entire life without knowing it? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this seemingly ordinary coin so valuable, how to check if you own one, and what steps to take right now before someone else finds the fortune hiding in their pocket change. But before we dive into this million-dollar mystery, let's go back to where it all started. 2008 was the final year before a massive design change hit the Lincoln penny. In 2009, collectors were already on alert, expecting transitional errors, production anomalies, and unique traits. And the US Mint? Well, it delivered. Accidentally, some 2008 Lincoln pennies came out without a mint mark. That tiny missing letter, usually found just under the date, gone. That might seem like nothing. But in the numismatic world, that is a beacon. A signal. A sign of a minting mistake with massive value. Why? Because the absence of that mint mark could mean the coin was struck at a facility that wasn't supposed to produce that specific die pattern. That makes it incredibly rare. Think about it. How many 2008 pennies have passed through your hands? Hundreds. Thousands. Now imagine that one of them was the one collectors are fighting for. The one that recently reached $749,000 in a private auction. That if that doesn't shake your perspective on pocket change, I don't know what will. Let's break down what gives this 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny its staggering value. First, rarity. The fewer coins with this error that exist, the higher the demand. And this isn't your average scratch and sell type of error. This is a minting anomaly that shouldn't have happened. Second, condition. The coin that sold for nearly $750,000 was in pristine condition, MS67 red. That means it was nearly perfect, with its brilliant copper-red luster untouched by time. But here's the twist. Even coins with lower grades are being snatched up for tens of thousands of dollars. So even if yours has a few fingerprints or signs of circulation, it could still be worth life-changing money. And third, timing. Right now, in 2025, the numismatic market is hotter than ever. Collectors are competing fiercely for unique, modern rarities. And the 2008 no mint mark penny? It checks every box. Here's something wild. One collector described finding a rare penny in his kid's piggy bank. That one sold for over $80,000. So if you're thinking, I probably don't have one, I urge you, don't make that assumption. Sometimes fortune isn't hidden in gold bars or real estate. Sometimes, it's hiding in the penny jar on your kitchen counter. Now wait. Before you start shaking every couch cushion in your house, let's make sure you're looking for the right thing. And no, this isn't the part where I tell you to buy a metal detector and quit your job to hunt for pennies in parking lots. Let's stay grounded, but focused. Because what I'm about to share could put you one step closer to a massive payout. The year must be 2008. There should be no mint mark under the date. The coin should have a strong strike, clean features, and no signs of post-mint damage. Red tone coins are preferred. That's the natural bright red copper shine that if you spot one that matches these characteristics, your next move is crucial. Do not clean it. Don't even wipe it with a cloth. Cleaning can destroy the coin's value instantly. Instead, place it in a soft coin holder or a clean paper envelope and get it professionally appraised. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC are trusted in the numismatic world and can certify your coin's grade and authenticity. Once that happens, you are ready for auction, where collectors are already waiting with open checkbooks. Let's be real. Most people overlook coins. They spend them, lose them, toss them into jars. But the truth is, those coins could hold more wealth than anything else in your home. The 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just a collector's item. It's a symbol. A reminder that wealth often hides in plain sight, that if you're someone who's been dreaming of a better life, a bigger home, financial freedom, don't underestimate the power of awareness. The difference between a penny and a payday is knowledge. And now, you have it. So what are you waiting for? After this video, check your change. Look in drawers, piggy banks, old wallets, jars, anywhere coins might be hiding. This is your chance to turn something forgotten into something unforgettable, and here's your cliffhanger. There's another coin, even more common than the 2008 penny, that recently crossed the $1 million mark. It's one you probably see every day. But almost no one knows what to look for. That's coming up in our next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Did you know there's a 2016 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark that has been valued at $743,000? Yes, a coin that likely passed through countless hands, forgotten in drawers or tossed into jars, could actually be a golden ticket in disguise. Now, here's the twist: many people throw this coin away every single day without even realizing its value. Could you be sitting on a small fortune right now and not know it? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, what makes it so special, why collectors are chasing it with open checkbooks, and how you can tell if the one you own is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or just 1 cent. But before you think, come on, a 2016 penny? That's too recent to be rare. Stay with me. What if I told you the real value isn't in the year, but in a microscopic error that even seasoned collectors miss? Let's begin this journey into the world of hidden treasure, right in your own pocket. Change. To understand why this 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has reached legendary status, we first need to talk about how pennies are made. In 2016, billions of Lincoln pennies were struck. Most were minted in Philadelphia, which traditionally carries no mint mark, and Denver, which bears the letter D. But here's where things get interesting: a tiny fraction of these coins were produced with critical die errors, double strikes, or off-center misprints, anomalies that send collectors into a frenzy. So how does a penny minted less than a decade ago skyrocket to a value of $743,000? It's not just about the mint. It's about flaws so rare, they exist in only a few coins out of billions. Coins with these errors are often discarded, unnoticed. But when discovered in pristine condition, and graded by top-tier services like PCGS or NGC, they enter a whole new realm of value. One such coin, a 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, surfaced recently in an auction and stunned everyone by commanding a staggering $743,000 bid. And yes, it was a real auction, with real collectors fighting tooth and nail over what seemed like an ordinary coin. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you actually looked, really looked, at your loose change? You could be one glance away from generational wealth. Let's pause for a second. Why do we care so much about pennies? I mean, they're copper-colored, they feel almost worthless, and let's face it, we've all ignored them at the gas station counter. But now imagine this: your dusty coin jar becomes a vault. That little penny you almost vacuumed up becomes the down payment on your dream house. Or better yet, a fully paid-off home with lake views and a vintage Mustang in the driveway. Laugh if you must, but this is happening, right now, to real people. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not a coin expert, don't worry. You don't need to be. What you need is awareness, and a bit of curiosity. So let's talk about what exactly to look for. Here's where you want to pay attention. The most valuable 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny was a result of a major die break, sometimes called a cut error, which causes raised, unintentional ridges, or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. These are incredibly rare and can command jaw-dropping figures. In some cases, the penny may show a doubled image of Lincoln's profile or the words, "Liberty," or, "In God We Trust." These are called double die errors and are highly sought after by collectors. And then there's the off-center strike, where Lincoln's head is pushed far to one side. If this is combined with a strong overall condition, especially with a grading of MS 67 or higher, you're potentially looking at a 5- or 6-figure coin. The irony? Most of these pennies were never meant to be seen by the public. But due to production oversights, they slipped through, and now they're floating around in circulation, waiting to be discovered. Could yours be next? Let's ask a serious question. What if, by the end of this video, you check your change and find it? What happens next? Do you know how to sell it? How to get it appraised properly? What if you trust the wrong buyer and end up selling it for $50 instead of $500,000? It's not just about finding the coin, it's about knowing how to leverage your find, and that brings us to the final act of our journey. That if you believe you found a rare 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny, the very first thing to do is protect it. Do not clean it. Do not rub it. Place it in a soft cloth or plastic holder and contact a reputable coin grading service. Next, get it graded. Services like PCGS or NGC will not only validate its authenticity, but also determine its condition, and that condition plays a massive role in its final value. Once graded, you can list it through a respected auction house or a certified coin dealer. Avoid online marketplaces unless you fully understand the value. There are too many buyers out there looking for uninformed sellers. Remember this: the market for rare coins is growing rapidly, especially among private collectors and international investors. With inflation rising and people seeking stable assets, rare coins are becoming one of the most lucrative collectibles in the world. But here's the catch: the window of opportunity may not last forever. As more of these coins are found and cataloged, the exclusivity goes down, and so does the price. So if you've ever dreamed of that one lucky break, the moment that changes your life, this could be it. Look, the 2016 Lincoln penny isn't just currency. It's a test of your attention, your curiosity, and your drive to live better, because let's be honest, who doesn't want to turn pocket change into prosperity? So the next time you hear a penny hit the floor, don't ignore it. Pick it up, inspect it, and remember what you heard here today: your future could be hiding in plain sight. A coin minted just a few years ago, something most people drop in a tip jar or toss into the bottom of a drawer, is now creating shockwaves in the rare coin market. Collectors are scrambling. Dealers are hunting. And everyday Americans, just like you, are waking up to discover they're sitting on wealth they never imagined. Let me ask you something: when was the last time you looked closely at your spare change? Because after this video you'll never look at a penny the same way again. In 2020, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. Most were ordinary, worth exactly 1 cent. But among them, a rare and mysterious batch emerged from the Denver Mint, the D-Mint mark coins. Now here's where things get interesting: out of those millions, a select few came out with microscopic errors. Double dies, misaligned strikes, even subtle shifts in Lincoln's portrait, details so small the untrained eye would never notice. But to the right buyer, these errors aren't flaws. They're treasures. And they're pushing values into the hundreds of thousands, and in one jaw-dropping case, into the $738,000 range. That's not a typo. A coin made in 2020. Worth more than most houses. Let that sink in. But what made this particular penny so valuable? What set it apart from the rest? Before we reveal that, let's be honest: who even checks the mint mark on a penny? Most of us can't even find our TV remote, let alone spot a microscopic doubling on Lincoln's eye. But as you'll see, knowing what to look for could mean the difference between tossing a penny and cashing out on a life-changing payday. Now let's dive into the specifics. The rare 2020 Lincoln penny that sold for $738,000 had a combination of features that sent collectors into a frenzy. First, it had a sharp D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. But the magic was in the details: a strong double die obverse, meaning the front side of the coin, Lincoln's image and the inscriptions, appeared slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the striking process. To most people, this would look like a printing glitch. But to professional graders and passionate collectors, it's the kind of anomaly that transforms a penny into a legend. There were also rumors that this particular coin had near-perfect luster and uncirculated quality. That's extremely rare for modern pennies, which are usually mass-produced with less attention to perfection. And here's the kicker: the coin was graded MS69 red by a top-tier grading service. That's just 1 point away from absolute perfection, the kind of grade that almost never happens with circulated coins. Imagine finding something like that in your change tray or your coin jar at home. But how do you know if you have one of these valuable pennies? And what exactly should you be looking for if you want to spot one before it's gone? Stick with me, because this next part could be the most profitable 2 minutes of your life. Let's break it down. First, check the date. It must be 2020. Then flip the coin and locate the mint mark. You're looking for AD just below the date, on the right side of Lincoln's portrait. Next, examine the coin closely under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Focus on 3 key areas: Lincoln's eye and nose. If there's any sign of doubling, you might have a double die. The word Liberty. Look for any shadowing or blurring around the letters. The phrase, "In God we trust," subtle doubling here is often a clue that your coin is not ordinary. Now, most people stop there. But serious collectors dig deeper. Turn the coin over. On the reverse side, examine the Lincoln Memorial or shield, depending on the design. Look for sharp edges, clean details, and any signs of misstrike. A rotated die or a clash mark, where part of Lincoln's face shows faintly on the back, could skyrocket the value even further. Still unsure? Send it in for professional grading. A top-tier grading agency like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and value your coin officially, and if it's the real deal, they'll protect it in a tamper-proof slab. Now imagine this. You're holding that penny in your hand. You send it off for grading. A few weeks later, the results come in, and suddenly, you're holding a $100,000, $300,000, maybe even $738,000 coin. How would that change your life? Would you pay off your mortgage? Take that dream vacation? Retire early? You're not just selling a coin. You're unlocking a new chapter of financial freedom. Most people will never bother to check their change. They'll never take the time to learn what makes a coin valuable. And they'll unknowingly give away what could have made them wealthy, but not you. You're here because you believe in the power of opportunity, and you understand that wealth doesn't always come in stacks of $100 bills. Sometimes, it starts with a humble penny. So what should you do right now? Start checking your coins. Dig through your drawers, old jars, and forgotten boxes. Pay attention to every 2020 penny, especially those with the D mint mark. If something looks unusual, don't ignore it. Investigate it. Research. And if it feels promising, get it graded, because right now, collectors across the country are actively searching for these coins. And they're willing to pay a premium, not next year, not next month, but today. Will you be the one who finds the next $1 million penny, or will someone else find it, in your spare change? The answer could be sitting right in front of you. So check your coins. Stay curious. And remember, in the world of rare pennies, even the smallest coin can carry the biggest dreams.